Pat, how much have you spent getting your NES collection?
Jesus.
What games eluded you? The usual suspects don't count. NWC, etc.
What games eluded me? The games that eluded me were the ones that I got at the end. Like, you're talking about your Bonk's Adventure games. You're talking maybe your Danny Sullivan's Indie Heat. You're talking games like that. Well, you know, those very hard to find games. You know, because Danny, everyone's running to get those copies of Danny. Everyone wants to pop in and play that.
I don't know if
action.
they were serious. I'm hoping they were joking, but someone said somewhere, I think it was in the comments, that every time we talk about Danny Sullivan's Indie Heat, the price goes up on eBay.
I think that's only proper. You know, the last 50 games are the hardest to get on the system that you just can't find in the wild, especially those like the unlicensed ones. You're not going to find some I got early, like a game like Wallabear and the No Game I got earlier on because I knew them from TSR's NES Archive or the Wisdom Tree games, for example.
Right.
So not that they eluded me, it's just that I got them earlier because I went after them. But in terms of how much I spent, Jesus, a lot less than 15,000. That's for sure. it wasn't even 15,000 with the NWZ gray card. It wasn't even 15,000 now with the gold. Yeah, but I don't know. See, that's the thing though, because when you buy in lots, especially at the flea markets, back in 2004, 2005, I went to Englishtown. I still remember this. I bought like 40 games for like $20.
Yeah.
40 NES games for $20.
I used to
and
do
these
it all the
weren't
time,
like
too.
all like bases loaded. I
Yeah.
remember getting Ghostbusters in there, or Ghostbusters 2.
No, I would get lots with no doubles in almost
Oh,
no
no,
sports
yeah.
games for that
Yes.
much at a flea market.
Yeah, so at that point, you start getting doubles, and yes, you do have to put them on the market or trade them. So that makes
That's what
it a
makes
lot
it
less.
hard, though, is because you can't really factor in how much. I mean, do you really remember how much you made back off of selling doubles and then put back in? What do you really think
Yeah.
you spend?
I think on average, $5 a game.
There you go. That's
So
probably,
I'd say under $4,000.
I would say
And I think that's when people say I think that because some games would average out to $2 or $1, and then talk about the games that you then sold and gain your money back from lots. I think it's under $4,000.
So to go back to what we talked about earlier, that's because I was kind of thinking. That's why I wanted to know what you would say. Now,
and
when
that
we go
ended
back
by
to that-
2010. I
Right.
finished my collection in early 2010.
and I think it ended before then. I think you got a little lucky.
Not counting stadium events.
But-
That's a caveat.
Yeah, I think okay. So we were talking about the $15,000 sale, and I
Yeah.
asked how much do you think it would cost an eBay person to do it now, and we said 8,000. I think if you look back at 98, 99, 2000, when Nintendo collecting started to become a thing, I think a lot of people were averaging $3 to $5 a game for the first 500, 550, and then maybe $8 to $10 a game for the rest of the games.
So Bonk's
over that.
Adventure was like a $10, $15 game.
Yeah, exactly.
In the late 90s. Stadium events was $100 or $200.
Yep, that was
And that was the most
that
expensive
was the
game.
one that you had to worry about. I mean,
Yeah.
it makes. I don't want to make people salivate because I passed on it, but I mean, Pan Asian games you could have for $100.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I remember way back. Yes, I remember they weren't that much. money.
I passed on the Bubble Bath Babes because I thought 150 was too much for it.
Do I need a label upgrade for my Guardian Legend? Is that faded?
I don't think it is.
Okay, that's an aside.
I think it's just fine. I think your Guardian Legend's good. to
That's
go.
where I'm at. Label upgrades. Every NES marathon, I write down the 4 or 5 I need. Like, oh, my Destination Earthstar.
Yeah, and you
It's
always
another
manage
corner.
to find more because you never want to stop buying.
I do want to. You think I like? Think I like being this insane?
I do, and we'll get to that shortly.